Yeah, it's time for the gloves. Gloves. Okay, no problem. Okay, with the Z modeler brush, we go to the gloves, and hopefully you have this kind of position of the gloves. The idea here is that we have to have, where am I? We have to have this inner bridges here between the fingers and those kind of circles here, here, and here. So yeah, this looks kind of nice, although we can go ahead and fix a little bit those curves so they are more straight. We don't want them to be as curved. Basically, we'll do this here also. Alright, I think this kinda looks good, but yeah. Okay, now we have to make the thickness of this glove. Let's make it. Thickness, ready, and extrude all polygons right now, inward. You see, when I'm extruding this part here, let me see if double is, okay, I don't need double. When I extrude this inward, the whole thing in the upper part goes outward, but I don't care. Let's flip it, and now it's okay. The glove is fine, but don't make it this thin. Now, you see, this is kind of thin. We need it to be cartoony, so we need it to be thicker. So let's make it thicker, like this. Hopefully this will be okay. This thickness should work. Now, here I don't find it very nicely. This is not looking good in the upper part, so I will go with my move brush and just move it inward all the way around the arm here. Just move it inward, don't worry about it. Just do it, as I say. Sometimes we just have to do it. And when we finish with this meticulous task of moving all those things around the head, around the arm, we will be in a good position. Or at least we'll be in a decent position. Let's see. Here, moving. Yeah, I'm trying to make it more interesting to look at. So it's not gonna be completely like a cylinder, but you see here how this lower part of this thing is going outward a bit at some points. That's what I want to achieve here. Sometimes it's difficult to rotate when everything on your screen is covered with geometry, and the rotation in ZBrush, you know, is just clicking on the canvas around your object and move. And when everything is your object, basically it's difficult to click around it. And yeah, you can always click on this border here. Wherever you click on this border, you will just do moving or whatever. So yeah, this is good, but it's too far away for me, this border. And this border too. I mostly work on the center of the screen. So when I decide to move, I want to be close. So I just go around my object and just move, rotate or whatever. Sometimes this doesn't work. Alright, this looks almost okay. Of course, a little bit more curvature should be fixed, and we'll be fine. Let's see. Now, I'm removing the polyframe. I'm pressing D for dynamic subdivision. I will go to crease at 1, crease it, and let's see. Yeah, at some point this crease, we should be careful about it, but now it's doing fine. So you see, when we were not creased, the thickness of the glove is huge. I mean, it's pretty thick. But when once we dynamic subdivide, when we subdivide, the thickness is kinda not so big. So we have to be careful about that. Also, you see in the inner part of the glove, we are seeing, and it's not good. So we're seeing the skin. And let me see, double. Okay, I have to flip it, of course. And then I will go and inflate this inner part with my inflate brush. Just inflate it. It's the easiest way to fix that. Of course, there are some complications, because when you inflate this, you can inflate also the outer part, and we don't exactly want that, but then we can go and move it a little bit more on inward again, like we did, like this, and it should be fixed. I know. Now let's try with crease 2, subdivision of 4. Okay. And here we need to inflate other things. So I inflate this, I inflate this. I'm inflating stuff. Now, the gloves are doing alright. They're not the best, they're not the worst. I will inflate these front parts also. Or at least I'll try. Because I feel like they need to be a little bit more away from the fingers. What I mean is, I need to have... Let me show you what I need to have here, and we'll see if I can have it. I need to have this, and this kind of a silhouette here. To have the gloves and then the fingers. And this, it doesn't matter, this thing here, this silhouette here. This stepping. And I don't have it much. So I may need to inflate the glove a little bit, the whole glove. Let's try it. But a little bit. I don't need to have it too much. And then when I feel like the glove is good and it doesn't have this kind of... with my move tool, I'm just going and making this right. I don't want it to be very curving here. So those curves, by the way, very important to fix it. All the curves, by the way, are important to fix because it kind of differentiate the good artists from the beginner artists. Beginner artists leave those kind of curves and they are visible. So if you want to not be a beginner, just fix your curves. And by curves I mean those kind of floppy geometry which have waves in it and stuff like this. That's what I mean. And if you fix that, probably you will lose a lot of time in the beginning to fix this kind of things. But if you see it and you fix it, you will be in a very good shape. Because obviously in everything we do, every new thing we do, we need to focus in the beginning, we need to do the things a little bit slowly, and we need to spend a bit more time. But as we go, we'll be able to do it faster and faster. And for example, now I'm planning to teach myself how to do characters in Blender, but all the way from zero, I mean everything. The clothes and everything, yeah, people are doing that, I know. But I haven't done that. And this will be a challenge for me, which by the way, will lead to new courses for sculpting characters in Blender, which I think will be accepted nicely. But for now, we're using this industry standard program ZBrush, which everybody knows, everybody is using still, and probably will in the near future use. Most studios and most freelance artists and most artists, respectable artists, which are doing great things, are working with ZBrush still. And as I said, they will be working with ZBrush in the nearest future, which is maybe like 5 years at least from now. After 5 years, I say nobody knows. I'm not a Nostradamus or whatever. I cannot say exactly what will happen then. But maybe Blender will get in a very good shape, who knows? Who knows? Nobody. I think nobody knows. So now, what can we do to make this glove look better? We can apply the subdivisions, and now we can go only with the glove and we can do this. So now, on the gloves, we need to have some kind of wrinkles or folds. And I will make one in here, but it should be big. Don't make some small folds. Big folds, kind of a thick ones, and I will just sculpt it. a bit like this, and then with the down standard brush I will go and kind of do this. Then I will do one more here, and I will kind of see if it's good. I will do one here, and probably it will be something like this. Yeah, it's not looking super bad. This will be smooth. We'll see. The fold will go in here. And what about the folds? So the folds should have should give silhouette, especially in the cartoon character. They should give us some silhouette. So that's why I'm making them big, bold folds. I even will go with a high polish brush and just high polish it and make sure that this fold looks good. And from the far, it will look. I will smooth this area here. It's looking like it's giving us a silhouette here. You see, it's making, it's not like this and continue, but it's making a little silhouette in here, and also here it's making a silhouette, which is good. And I think this is our purpose, to make silhouette. No, it's not. It's not our purpose to make silhouette, but if we make some, it's nice. I will also make one around this area, although this couldn't be that visible, but I just want to do it. Don't do them too sharp, like I will smooth it even here, and don't do them too thin. They shouldn't be as thin as you think. They should be very thick, the folds, and they should be very prominent, and they should be very few. So just one or two folds, but nicely done, is far better than many folds but just put all over the place. And that is super important also for all the detail that we want to put on our dragon, for example. We want, for example, those kind of blemishes. You see, they're only on the shoulder, a little bit on the back, a little bit on the lower back, here, and they're not all over the place everywhere. No, they're only on few places. And it seems like he's kind of nice. It seems nice, obviously. Now I will go with my, which one? The damp standard brush. I will go to lazy radius 47, and I will try to do this. Okay, yeah, there are a lot of polygons here. Let me think. Do we need to do this too? Do this? Yes, why not? I will do this, this, and this, and then I'm trying now, I'm rotating, and I'm trying to keep the thickness the same all around. If I don't manage to do this, I do this, I go Control Z, and I try again. Of course, it could take a little bit of time, like 2 minutes, maybe even less. But at the end, the result should be fine. And it's looking kind of nice. It's not the best, it's not the best result, but we don't need the best. I mean, this is kind of the detail, which is good. Now, if I want to make, for example, a fold in here, which will be great, by the way, I will have to go down one subdivision at least. I will make the fold, I will make it big and strong. I will make the down fold in here, which is I'm digging, and now I'm smoothing, and then I go up subdivisions, and I of course will go with the down standard brush, a little bit less lazy radius, and go and smooth it again, and it should be fine. This is too much probably. I will just flatten it a bit with my high polish brush, and then maybe smooth, flatten. We don't need this fold to be that big. Maybe we can make one more here. Just the idea is for some things not to look that sterile. Yeah, especially when you do something realistic, the sterile is not good. Here we can go with the sterile a little bit some places, but I like it to be more interesting, and the guy with the concept also like it to be more interesting. As you can see, he made some texture here and there, and he just had fun, obviously. And we also may or may not have fun too with this. I can make very, very easy folds in here. Just, it's not fold, it's just something. It's just not even a fold. Just something easy, just something little. And also here on the end of the fingers, let me try if I can do this. Yes. And I think this could also give us a little bit of depth. Just where it's visible. We don't need to do it everywhere. Especially here in the inner part, we don't need to do this. Why am I doing this then? I don't know. It will not be visible because both hands are fist. They are in the fist, so the inner part of the glove will never be visible. But, nonetheless, we can do stuff like this, for example. Just so we can feel more... I mean, this is an exercise. Everything you do is an exercise. And if you do it correctly, it will be... If you kind of try to do everything correctly, it will be a little bit more time, but it will... Time, yeah, you see? English. It will be a little bit more time, but it will take your skill into a little bit higher level and then a little bit higher, and until you are the best of 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 the best. Which probably will never happen. Why? Because there will always be somebody or someone. I'm just pinching here just to make this thinner. There will be always somebody or someone that will put more time into this than you, and then he will be a little bit better or a lot better. It depends. For example, I have put a lot of time, but there are people that are better. Why? Because they have put more time. That's it. I mean, it's not a big deal. We both have something which I don't exactly believe in, talent. It's not a talent, it's just work. But we both have it, since most artists, we like to draw from a very young age and stuff like this. And we have this kind of talent. And the talent, in my opinion, is just the willing to put the time because you like it. You like to draw, you put the time, draw. You like to paint, you put the time, paint. You like to 3D, to make 3D stuff, you put the time and do it. So it's just the will to do those kind of things is talent for me. It's not that something you are born with. I have never seen a baby, like 1 year old, first drawing, like maybe 2 years old, first drawing tries and to be very good. I mean, to have talent or something. No. It needs to develop its skills. And when this baby, 2 years old, draw every day for 2 hours at least for 1 year, and when it's 3 years old, it will be much better than his classmates or children mates in the kindergarten, because this baby would have a lot of experience drawing, and the others, they would be playing on their tablets or phones or watching animation in TV or whatever. So it's just about work. It's not that much about talent. If you know about this Kim Jong-Lee, I think was the name. It's a South Korean guy who is one of the most appraised. It's not painters. He's kind of a drawing, kind of sketching. But he's doing these very nice perspective drawings just from his imagination. But how is he able to do that? He was born with that ability? No, if you see him like 3 years old, he was maybe as good as you now. Because yeah, because he was drawing from 1 year of age. No, I'm kidding, but he is drawing from the dawn of time, of his time, of course. Every single time they were interviewing him, and he's talking about some stuff about his art, about his life, and he's still drawing. I mean, he's drawing even in the toilet probably. So he has ton of experience. He has experience of 2 or 3 normal artists of their lifetime, but he has it now on his one lifetime, and he's still not super old. So yeah, that kind of thing can differentiate the guy who is very good from guys who are just good. For example, I'm just good, and many people are very good. Not many, but there are a lot. I mean, a lot of things I see in Facebook, in the groups, in ArtStation, I always see people that I say, okay, this is pretty good. I don't know if I can do it. And that's true. I maybe will be able to do something like this, but there are certain things that are differentiating this very, very good guy from a good guy like me. And they are kind of willing to put the time, and they probably haven't played any games. Mostly are working, and they are seeing and always quality practicing, because I was doing practicing a lot when I was young, but it was not quality, it was just quantity. I was just drawing what I think I can draw, which were human faces and male muscular bodies. And that's what I kind of like to draw, and that's what I drew. But not always from pictures or from references. And I kind of, most of my drawings were just practicing my hand. Not practicing my knowledge of anatomy or forms or anything, just practicing my hand, which is not ideal. Let's say not ideal. It's more than nothing, of course. That's why I'm better than most people. Not artists. I'm better than most people. Not most artists. But yeah, because I was training my hand. But even if you have done nothing, I know people that are just were in completely different area, developing themselves, and suddenly they decide to become artists. But they not just decided, they kind of are determined to do it, determined to become good artists. And they start working on it, start working, and put a lot of time. I mean, it's incredible what the human will can do. I mean, incredible amounts of time you can put in something that you like. And they become good. They become good. Some of them pretty quickly. I mean, quickly, for me, is from 0 to hero for a year. This is quick. But this requires for you to be working all day, all night, just sleeping and then get up and work. It will require to have a lot of free time to do so, to do working, and not to play games, not to watch that much YouTube or Netflix. Just working, just making your skill better, finding concepts on ArtStation, for example, and trying to do them, seeking advice from professionals, or even just watching courses, watching videos like you do now. So you are in the right kind of a path because you're watching this course. But if you don't do your own character based on this course, your own dragon, even with different face or different armor or whatever, you will not get what you paid for. Although this course is pretty cheap, I know. So yeah, but I made it cheap. Not only because I want more people to get into this, but also because these are the prices of most of the courses. So this is the market. We cannot fight the market. And I'm okay with that. I even am okay with the torrents, as I told you. You may go to the torrents and check out my other courses if you find them on the torrents, but I will not help you in that. You have to find them. CG Peers, by the way, is the best way to find them. CG Peers is the best torrent site for this kind of thing, for artists' content. CG, computer graphics, Peers, CG Peers. Of course, I don't think they are accepting new members, so you cannot probably sign in. But I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can find a free logon or whatever. I'm not sure. Even I don't have an account in CG Peers. I'm using one of my colleagues' accounts when I need to download something from there. And I admit it, I have downloaded my fair share of courses from this site. So I don't mind my courses to be there too, and they mostly are. But since the people from CG Peers, they are offering them for free, so they are not making any profit from my work, I'm okay. And people who are in the countries that they cannot afford one of my courses or something, they can still watch them somehow. I think this is great. This is great because someday one of those guys that was watching my courses from the torrents can become a good artist, a great artist, and then he can say, Nico has taught me a lot, and yeah, I'm sorry I got his courses from the torrents, but that was the time. And I will say, no problem, man. I got you. Alright, this video has become pretty long, so let's finish it. And yeah, you see, the gloves are not super bad, they're looking great, even great. And we'll see what we'll do next. There will be things that we can do. For example, I don't like the horns. Maybe their color is not exactly right for me, I'm not sure. I don't like this, it's too simple. We can make some texture. Also here in the back, this also on the tail, and some other things we can fix, we can do. And then on the pike also, of course, we have to do it. And then we can go and pose it, and then a little bit more things. The rivets also here and here. There are a lot of rivets here and there, so we have to do this too. And after that we will be kind of finishing with the character. We can do some renderings, probably in Keyshot. Hopefully we'll be able to do it, but for now, bye.